It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Alrighty, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy little Tuesday here. I'm very excited. My daughter is in here today. Caitlin popped in. She brought her dad a delicious, healthy juice here with spinach, celery, lemon, cucumber, ginger, and apple in it.
Wow, that was
delicious.
Sweet.
Yeah, very nice.
You get the whole thing. Yeah, you get it all right there.
You get it, yeah. It's good stuff, right?
All you need is a little vodka, and that'd be perfect.
Okay, there you go.
And we can help you with that.
I know, yeah, that's right. Denny's had a little bit of that.
Does that null it out if you have all that health in there and then you put vodka in it?
No.
Or does it still work?
It still works, but you're good. It's kind of a knockdown on your liver, I guess. But other than that, it makes you a little bit happier, right?
If your liver enzymes are fine, you're fine. Now, you should be checking your liver every year, making sure you're cool, especially if you drink as much as this crew.
I got my liver. I don't want to brag. I got to check twice this year.
He don't have no bitch-ass liver.
No, I just got a bitchy-ass kidney. I only got one.
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing. So, yeah, I know. I got to do that coming up. It's been a little while.
I'm doing mine today. That's why it's on my mind.
What, you're getting your liver checked out?
All my blood work, everything, all organ function is covered in the Total Optimal Wellness Check.
From toe to head to camel toe?
To camel toe.
To take the whole kit and caboodle?
I had the vagina checked out about 2 weeks ago. I had my pap, came back clear.
Okay.
No chlamydia, no HPV.
Okay.
Panda is pumped.
Good news, yeah.
Well, if I develop anything new at this point, we got a problem.
You're right.
Somebody's been straying.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have to sit down and have a talk because I know it wasn't me.
Okay. Don't need that kind of heat, huh?
No.
Yeah. Got a ton of emails today. Thank you very much for sending them in. Took a little while to go through. I apologize, but kind of fun. One of the things that people are doing now with AI is I guess you submit a photo and it turns you into a baby.
Oh,
yeah.
They've done like a whole interview now. You can upload a video of you talking, and it'll turn you into a baby talking.
I've
but it's
seen
you.
that too, yeah.
Oh, it's not horrifying.
Yeah.
It does look like you too.
A little. It kind of resembles you. And you can kind of see here because Panchita did just the photos with us from yesterday. Yeah.
That is so on point. That is what I looked like as a baby.
That's pretty adorable.
Yeah. So there you go. Babyfied. Yeah.
Oh, that's just good fun.
Yeah. So that's some of the fun you can do. How handy is AI these days, huh?
Yep.
Hours of useless enjoyment.
Just gonna take our jobs and our families. Hold AI.
Meg and Addie Joe said ChatGPT does not disappoint. I love hearing y'all root for the Panthers. And Virginia's nickname for Bobrovsky, the goalie, had me laughing. You said what? It sounds like Bob Ross skiing. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what we said.
Okay. All right. So what would that look like? Well, there's Bob Ross skiing in a Panthers jersey.
That is your goalie, everybody.
That's frameable, in my opinion.
That's beautiful. Yeah. If you
take that and you get Bob Roski to sign it, and then you frame it.
You could even get an oil style. You could make that really pop with a nice frame and a Bob. We can't get the Bob Ross autograph.
But you can get the Bob Ross style trees, and you can get the real goalie, Bob Roski, to sign it.
You could get a stamp of Bob Ross, or do what I did. I faked Bob Ross's name on my autograph picture of him.
Oh, you did? Okay.
He was dead, so I couldn't get it.
You can fake those, right? No harm, no foul.
You're not trying to resell it.
No.
It's only hanging in your house to fool your dumb friends.
Yeah, it was like, do Bird, thank you for being the great artist you are. Bob Ross.
Got an email from Luchia. She sent us one all the way from Cali. She was here in the early KVJ days. Loyal listener since 2002, moved to Cali in 2017, still has KVJ, and you can see some of the older photos. There's Me and Bird, I think we were doing like some kind of Top Gun thing, I believe, there.
That's when you guys were performing at the Harriet Himmel Theater.
It's
That's right.
the one bit I've been wanting to repeat so bad that I know Ralston does not want to do.
Your hip doesn't want to do it.
I want Maverick too. I want Top Gun too.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, And you ran into her and the kids up there at Avocado.
Oh,
event
yes,
where
I
she was in
remember.
Virginia.
Yeah. Wow, look how little Rocco was.
Yeah.
Is that Rocco?
No. I'm like, wait, where's Rocco?
I can't see.
Is that not Rock? Please say that's not Rock.
That's not Rocco. I don't think so.
Why am I holding that baby carriage then? Am I trying to
I
steal
don't know.
her
Maybe
baby?
it is. Maybe that is Rocco.
Oh,
yeah,
please.
it might be.
Damn it.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that is Rocco. First, yeah. Okay, that would be Rocco. Yeah, so he was
I'm
maybe.
holding this stroller like he's mine.
Yeah, that would be good because that is your child. Okay. Sorry. Second look. Yeah. Boy, Rocco's changed a lot. Yeah, I didn't recognize him there.
Rocco's about to be 10.
It's crazy.
10.
It's a decade. It's a big
crazy.
one. That's when you really know your parents are full of shit. Right? Double-digit area. You're like, all right, what's going on with mom and dad? I know they're human.
We don't lie to Rocco as much as your parents lied to you.
Fuck, those fuckers lied.
Look how fucked up you still are because of it.
I'm in my prime.
And she told a story that she had heard us talking about Diddy, and they talked about how his eyes just seemed blacked out, and he was a version of him. It didn't even seem like the real Diddy when he would go into his tirades. And she said, sounds like my ex who would get high AF on drugs, and it would just turn him into a monster. He'd say awful things, and his pupils became so dilated, they became abnormally big and black. And then, of course, combined with the effects of drugs, that crazy look, the stare.
And that's how the devil gets in you.
And if you're doing that for long periods of time, I do believe your spirit starts to die.
Yep.
Because you're not in a place of
Right.
spirit, really.
Well, you know, I liken it. Do you remember the old Jekyll and Hyde story? Maybe you heard it as a kid. You know, you had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Where you had the doctor who was trying this potion, and he was straight-laced, and then, you know, Mr. Hyde was the evil version of himself. And what happened was Mr. Hyde started to take over more and more. And that typically is what happens when you just start to entertain some of that stuff. It starts small, but the next thing you know, it starts to really grow in your life. And it takes over. I always tell my kids, I'm like, you know, what you feed is what you become. And if you do that kind of stuff, you may be like, I got this under control. Not a problem. Until you don't.
Yeah, and everyone's set differently, where someone could have 4 drinks and they could just be goofy and silly. 4 drinks could turn somebody into a raging lunatic, depending on, you know, how they are, who they are, what's going on.
Their temperament.
Yeah, you just never know. And a person like that shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah, if you're going through it and you know that your personality does not do well with drinking and sadness, maybe don't drink when you're sad.
Because they even say it on the body cams where the police will show up and the wife will come out and they go, he's usually nice. He only turns this way when he's drinking too much. And they say that so much. And they'll say it about women as well. But it goes, it's always when they start drinking. It's always when they start drinking. They turn into monsters. And some people do.
Yeah, and then some people need to recognize when they're doing something that turns them into a monster and stop.
And those bad drinkers that do that, they're giving us party good drinkers a bad name. Don't ruin my good time because you can't handle your liquor.
We were, also talking about you as well.
Whatever. I'm fucking fun.
You are. I always say you are far. I'm fun.
You are
You are
far.
far. You are far.
Are you drunk?
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's an interesting thought that Joe had from Am I the Jerk with the guy who asked his girlfriend's dad for his blessing to marry his daughter. And the dad's like, no, I'm not going to get that. You haven't gone to college. You're not making the kind of money that would make me feel secure in you marrying my daughter. So
Your credit score is crap.
yeah, right.
I'm not impressed by anything you're bringing to the table. All the qualities of man.
There's rumors you got pencil dick.
Did he bring up his pencil dick?
No, I don't think he did.
That'd be interesting.
Kevin omitted that part.
Joe said, it kind of sounds to me like the father may not like the guy all that much, and sometimes this is just an excuse to not have the guy marry his daughter. If he worded this differently, I would feel differently. But, yeah, it is possible that because, some people are saying, hey, look, a credit score and a salary and going to a college doesn't necessarily make you a good person.
True.
But, there are those kind of things that you're like, okay, if you didn't really like the individual and you didn't think he would be able to clear those bars, you could set a bar that you don't think he'll ever clear.
But think about it, too, from Dad's perspective. He's been the provider, and now he's going to hand his girl over to you, and you're supposed to be the man now, the provider now, and you can't do the gig.
If we can't make it on money, baby, we'll make it on love.
Yeah, famous last saying there.
Dad's not impressed with pencil
no
dick.
dad is going to be...
Cut fast forward to, 2 months later, they're both living in the car.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, so we'll see. And, of course, if Caitlin ever decides to get married, that person will have to go and get the permission of the queen.
Because you go to the father.
That's right.
She'll do that thing where she's polishing her gun.
Yeah.
She'll be sharpening her knife.
Then I take care of my daughter.
That's right. And got an email here from Dorian, who is listening to the show on Monday, where somebody had gotten not an invitation to a party. They got a request to just Venmo money instead. It was for her young kid, and it came from a kid in his class.
It's a kid's birthday, and there's no party, just a Venmo or Cash App request for money for the kid's birthday. Like, wait, what?
Right. And this is interesting because maybe some of these things are happening with the evolving of Cash Apps and people also not really wanting people in their house. She said, to the mom who got a birthday invitation only to find out there was no actual party. Well, something very similar happened to a friend of mine. Her own family sent out hundreds of invitations for what they called a baby shower parade. At first, she was like, well, what even is this? It turns out what you do, people were expected to drive by her house, drop off a gift, and keep it moving. No party, no food, no cake, nothing. Just a wave and a quick thank you from the doorstep, and that's it. And to top it off, everything on her registry was organic, even the diapers. Anyone who's ever shopped for a baby knows how expensive that stuff is. So people were shelling out serious money for absolutely nothing in return. Just a thank you and a wave. Crazy.
Pure balls right there.
Yeah. Allison said that was done during COVID.
Yeah, that was. I saw that during COVID.
But I wonder if, can you take some of the practices of COVID and do it today? Or people like, no,
you cannot do that
You got away
now.
with that crap in COVID, but not now.
You can't do the COVID parade thing now.
No.
If you do it now, you're a dick face.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody is still doing that, it's a COVID thing. I did see, though, because I know we all miss COVID. They said that China's official COVID-19 infection rates doubled in April. They said that they're surging a new COVID and sending it our way.
COVID part 2?
We're on at part 67, I think. Honestly, this has to be like the 100th variant at this point.
Of COVID. It does feel like there's been definitely different variants out there, but I don't want to say anything, Virginia. I'm not trying to get political.
What can you even frickin' say?
Yeah, they said that Chinese hospitals now have become overcrowded as they deal with this new respiratory infection version of COVID.
Not again.
Well, look, I think there were so many lessons that were learned that, and one, hopefully it's not to any of the levels of the COVID that we had when it started the whole thing, but I would assume and hope that we could handle it a lot better this time. I would hope.
Unless one of the symptoms is you start growing horns, and then we have to wear forehead masks to
I
come.
feel like you could rock horns and look cute.
I would be so hyped if I had horns.
Horns and a tail, and I think we go viral with this guy.
Oh, at that point, I think I gotta get in the show business and make some money. We gotta definitely get a TikTok account.
We got to take this act on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Make it count.
I don't feel like you ever sweated COVID, Kev.
No. No, it didn't. I mean, look, I understood what it was. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't think it was nothing, but I wasn't going to get over sensualized crazy, about it. You do the basics and you just, hope for the best. So, I think the people that did kind of just chill and handle it the right way made it out okay for the most part. So, I had a mother that would not do the shots, even though I tried to encourage her to do so. But, she was a grown woman. She made her own choices. So she wasn't down with it.
Glad I brought that up. Good job, Bird.
Yeah, great job.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know how to
What's next from this guy? Abortion?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I killed my mom, but, it's all good.
So,
Thanks for reminding him of his mom dying.
Would you like to talk about your dead grandma now?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to say there. I apologize for making everybody feel weird. I was like,
This got so eerily quiet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to make the whole audience feel weird, but, it is what it is. So.
If only we can go back in time.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a lot of nerve, lady. Some of the shit you say.
Got another thing to watch out for, them bufo toads. And I guess even for humans, don't snooze on the bufo toad.
Really?
Suzanne says that the bufo toads will also cause blindness if you get their sap in your eyes.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Did not know that.
And I try to find a cuteness in all animals, and I really struggle with the bufo toad.
Well, that's very, possible to happen. Imagine your dog's got a hold of the bufo toad, and you go over to wrestle the toad out of the dog's mouth. I bet you would get some of that stuff in your eye.
Well, I mean, you might get it on your hand, and that's the thing to think about. If you're anywhere near what might be a bufo toad, you just saved your dog, and you're like, oh, thank goodness. And then you get an itch, and you're like, oh, and you get, that would be it. You need to act like you've got poop all over your hands, because basically you have even something worse. And you know how you have that awareness, you go right inside, you scrub the heck out of your hands.
Yeah.
I could see where you were just in the whole emotions of everything that you don't even think about it, and you touch your finger to your eye that has some of the bufo toad venom on it.
It makes me not want to sleep in my dinosaur garden anymore. Because what if I'm sleeping and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I grabbed something. Oh, it's a drink. No, it's not. It's a toad. Fuck my eye.
You'd be blind so quick.
You think it's your pillow and you actually lay your head on a bufo toad?
Exactly. Because I'll be all sprawled out. Who knows?
Yeah.
How's your dad doing after all that? He's got to be upset.
I think we've already had enough sadness in this podcast.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about.
We already talked about a dead mom. We didn't even talk about a dead dog.
I'm just sad for your dad.
Mention your dead grandma as well.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, she's very dead.
She's almost as dead as my dead mom.
Yeah, she got to be dust at this point. A long time ago. Let me see some other emails that we got here today. A little bit about Tesla cars. That's something else that'll kill you. Here's a fun little thought about the Tesla. Driving one of those Tesla cars with the no handles, it makes the rescue people a little bit harder to rescue you. So if there's a fire in there, you're probably likely just going to sit in there and burn to death like a coffin.
Geez, damn.
Thank you, Curtis. That's a good thought.
There are no handles.
Look, Curtis it's not easy. I know it sounds like I'm a dumb fuck. It is not easy to open.
Two things can be true at the same time.
It's not easy opening up a Tesla if you are not used to it.
And you are a dumb fuck.
Oh, go lick a toad.
And Warren said that there is a problem, too, with a lot of these newer cars with steer-by-wire. There is no steering rod from the steering wheel.
Oh.
That makes it trickier.
So if anything happens to that wire, you no longer have control of your car.
I guess so.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you talk about all those little glitches that a lot of these newer cars have. Like, for me, let's work out all the bugs, and then, maybe in a generation or two when you guys have everything good, I'll go with one. But Yeah, now it feels like they're still working on a lot of little kinks and all this kind of stuff. You always hear a story about how the car drove you off a cliff or somewhere else.
Yeah, if you do have a first-generation car like I do, stay up on the recalls. Seriously, stay up on it because you do not want to die in your fun first-generation car.
Oh, just give me the old school car. Just let me put my gas in it. Let me drive away. Let me just unlock it manually. Let's just do it.
He wants the crank for the window.
Just make it old school simple, baby.
Well, look, there are people that are going back to the old school phones because they're just tired of all the gadgetry, and they say, I just want some simplicity. I would not be surprised, people. You know, give me door handles. Just give me a window that I can crank, roll up, and roll down. And
because all the new phones, people think they're getting spied on, which they probably are.
Yeah.
People are getting paranoid.
Your phone is listening to everything you do and say. Now, who is collecting that information and what they do with it? You'll never know.
Well, everything with the technology, it's opened the door to scammers. They have to love this era and everything, especially now with Venmo and Cash Apps and all that kind of stuff.
They salivate.
Oh, me and Denny's were talking about blowouts or blowout.
What?
Me and Denny's were talking about blowout.
You just had a verbal blowout.
Blowouts.
Blowout, the movie with John Travolta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were talking.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's kind of a. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this anymore.
No, really. Tell us about this shitty movie nobody's heard of.
Well, no one's heard of it.
Yeah.
And none of my equipment was around our conversation. I go home. Blowout is showing up on my phone. Blowout is showing up on my YouTube. But my equipment wasn't even there to hear it. So where did it hear it from?
They've hacked your brain.
I don't know, Virginia. Because I know you're being a dick, but I don't have anything clever to say.
You had that the other day, Virginia, where we'd mentioned something on the show and immediately you got advertisements for
Yep,
it.
immediately. We just mentioned one thing, and I looked down at my phone. It was pop-up ad after ad for this one resort.
Now, hear me this. If Denny's had his equipment out, is it possible because he's linked to me somehow, because we text each other, the blowout advertisement came to me somehow?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely not asking you.
This is beyond my pay grade. I don't even understand it.
All right, never mind.
Just know they're listening. They're probably watching, and you don't know what they're doing with that information, who they selling it to.
Well, it just sounds like they're listening even when your devices aren't even near you.
Yeah.
Kathy in Jupiter said, yeah, if you're using your computer and you get a message from Microsoft and your computer locks up, do not call the number on the screen. It is a scam, and we fell for it. We have closed all cards and notified bank. What a mess.
Fuck.
Stopped before they got into our account, so thankfully.
It's too much.
It's too much. It is actually breaking my brain and my bank account.
I think I'm going back to just give me a shovel.
You have to go to cash. When you're dealing with any kind of merchant where you don't keep your eyes on your card the entire time, you can't trust a person anymore because people are shady and they are stealing debit cards and selling numbers, and thousands of dollars now I've lost.
Well, I'm lucky.
Thousands.
My bank lets me know if something is kind of shady. They'll send me an alert. Did you buy this Bigfoot statue?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Sound investment.
It actually is. It's such a talk piece. So many people compliment it when we play games. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Now, Taylor said, I am an avocado lover, and I ate it nearly every day throughout both of my pregnancies. But it turns out both of my daughters have life-threatening food allergies to milk, eggs, and soy. There was that article that come out that I think I had on the show yesterday where they said that pregnant women eating avocado reduces the risk of food allergies in their children by 44%.
Well, it's bullshit in her life.
Definitely, yeah. And look, if it doesn't happen for you, then yeah, I wouldn't believe that either. Now it's, I guess 44%, so it's still a majority of people it doesn't do anything for, so she would fit in the majority. So,
That's upsetting.
Didn't work with one. Yeah.
Do you believe in the theory if a mother is pregnant and let's say she gets down on Oreo cookies on the reg, that was a big thing she ate, your kid is going to probably have an affection for Oreo cookies? Or do you not at all think there's a correlation to that?
I absolutely think there's a correlation. I think so much happens in vitro to shape that baby. Of course, the food you ingest is going to affect that baby.
You think that's true, Kev?
I believe that, I think that there's a lot that has to do with what food you consume and how it affects you, and I'm sure how it affects your kids. We've even heard, too, that, and I believe in that what you eat during pregnancy, your kids a lot of times wind up liking themselves. Your mom with pizza, and look at you. And so I've heard that story a lot of times. There seems like there's a correlation. I think it's one of those things where, it could affect it, but it's not a slam dunk, and it doesn't happen every single time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too.
It's probably like the avocado stat. If that is a real stat and it's a legitimate study, and 44%, it's still a majority of people, has no effect. So you can eat an ass ton of avocado and it's not going to affect your kid whether they have allergies or not. So
I'm just so glad my mom didn't eat a lot of hot dogs.
can you imagine you just crave hot dogs? You're all the time eating hot dogs. That's just your thing. You can't
But
get
if
enough.
you loved it, you wouldn't care.
Look, we do get some people that go, y'all dog on hot dogs too much. Hot dogs are awesome. There's a community that does love hot dogs.
Hot dogs can be eaten sparingly and really enjoyed. I'm just saying, I'm here for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
You are our hot dog representation.
I am.
But Taylor went on to say about the allergies, you have to be the one that is the guard of what you put into your body. We take it upon ourselves. And I tell my daughters that, sometimes you're unfortunately not going to be able to tend some things. That's just part of you having these allergies. Throughout our lives, we all have to miss out on some things, and it's a good lesson to learn. So I try to make sure she has treats and goodies when other kids do go so that she's not left out of partaking in the food. But, a lot of times she just can't take things that they hand out. Because you don't know, and a lot of times, you can't trust it. How many times have you heard where they're like, oh, no, it doesn't have nuts in it?
A lot of times, if you have a food sensitivity, it's tricky to be out and about eating in restaurants because even if you say, I have this, and this sensitivity to the waitstaff, that message can get lost in translation.
Sure, yeah.
And if it's something that could give you anaphylaxis, I am so afraid for you eating out and about.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is tougher to go through mentally? Food sensitivity or full moon sensitivity?
Food. But Mags is going through both.
She does have both.
That hooker is
Shit.
just getting slammed from one way and the other.
That sucks,
That
man.
does suck.
All kinds of sensitivities.
Pray for Mags.
Is she gonna? Are they still working on her food allergies and sensitivity? They still don't have any answers
They
yet.
still don't have it figured out. Nope. And what happens is when you stop eating something, so she stopped eating gluten for a long time because they told her she was allergic to gluten. And then so she went back to have the test done again, and they were like, oh, yeah, you're not allergic to gluten anymore. And then somebody else said, no, you can be still allergic to it. The reason it's not showing up is because you haven't been consuming it. It's fucked, dude. It's fucked. Food is way worse than full moon. In closing.
Okay.
Furthermore, Kevin,
They must have had some kind of organization because this little stack of emails, probably about 10 to 15 deep, is from the food truck Chefry Eats. They often park there in Boca. Chefry, the food truck guy at Barrel Amongst Brewing in Boca Raton, which is a great little place there. Been to this food truck, and they do have amazing burgers. Had this with Gruyere, is that how you say it? Caramelized Gruyere.
Yummy.
With caramelized onions, relish, fried onions with an onion soup dipping sauce. What a burger. There you see what you
oh,
get.
that looks good.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So it's a good little place to check out. Barrel Monks has great beer as well. So they do everything. If you like really Belgium-style beers, they crush it. They're the best.
That burger right there is a burger you eat by yourself because you want to eat that like just a fucking animal. A pig.
What would you do to that burger?
Oh my gosh, you know what I would do. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
You'd be all over him.
Pants on or off?
Winnie the Pooh the shit out of that thing.
And thought this was cute. Alfonso. He said, I want to say thanks to Captain Crust. My 3-year-old Nina can't get enough of Captain Crust and how you bring people together with the power of pizza.
Aww.
She watches your Captain Crust videos so much and can't get enough of them. It's so funny. Anywhere she goes, she tells people about Captain Crust and how you help kids at the hospital.
He's the superhero that we all need in our lives. Mm-hmm. What's the tagline?
Anything is possible through the power of pizza.
And she remembered that you said that you liked her face paint and her balloon animal.
Oh, that warms my heart.
So there you go. So she is a big fan, Captain Crust, like we all are.
Yeah, a hero, damn it.
That's right. Put that respect on your lips. All right, y'all. That is all we got here for a Tuesday. Working our way through the week. Be nice to see y'all back here tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.